There are places you visit for the food, and then there are places where the whole setting becomes part of your experience. This is one of those places worth taking your time with. From the moment you walk in, there's already something about the space that catches your attention. The interiors have this warm, classic character with details that make every corner interesting without feeling overly decorated. And honestly, this is the kind of place where you'll probably find yourself looking around before even deciding where to sit. There are so many little details throughout the space: the furniture, the lighting, the old world touches, the artwork, even the way the tables are arranged. Everything has its own character. It doesn't feel like a place that was designed simply to look good in photos. It actually feels like a space meant to be experienced. And I think that's what makes it interesting. There are areas that feel a little more tucked away, giving each table a sense of separation. It's not the kind of dining experience where everything feels crowded together. There's room to appreciate the surroundings, enjoy the food, and have a proper conversation, which is exactly the kind of setting that makes a meal feel different. Now, of course, the food is a big part of the reason to be here. The menu has that mix of familiar flavors and more refined dishes. So there's something comforting about it while still making the meal feel like an occasion. And when the food starts arriving, this is where the camera probably needs to do most of the talking. The presentation is simple but well put together, and there's something satisfying about seeing everything come together on the table. The food feels very much connected to the setting, classy, comforting, and still elevated enough to make the meal feel like something you intentionally went out for. But beyond the individual dishes, what makes the experience enjoyable is having everything together: the interiors, the food, the atmosphere, the slower pace of the meal, and the fact that you can actually sit down and appreciate the experience instead of feeling like you need to rush through it. There's also something nice about dining somewhere with a little more character. You notice things differently, you look at the details, you take photos, you talk, you eat, and somehow a simple meal becomes one of those moments you remember. That's probably why places like these are worth sharing, not just because every corner photographs well, although honestly there are plenty of corners that do, but because there's a certain quality to the whole experience. It feels considered without being overly formal, beautiful without needing to be loud, and comfortable enough that you can simply enjoy being there. For anyone who appreciates interiors, good food, and dining somewhere with a little more privacy and character, this is definitely one to keep in mind. And for a month that happens to have a few extra reasons to celebrate, this felt like a pretty good way to spend one of those days. Good food, a beautiful setting, and a little time around the things that make a day feel worth remembering. So yes, definitely one of those places worth sharing. There are still so many little details around the place that deserve a closer look, from the furniture and artwork to the way each piece has its own character. There's always something else to notice once you take your time looking around, and this is probably what I enjoy most about places like this. It doesn't feel like everything is placed there just for the sake of decoration. The setting has a personality of its own. Even the dining areas have a certain separation that makes the experience feel more comfortable. You can sit, have your meal, talk, have a few photos, and simply enjoy the surroundings without feeling like you are in the middle of everything. It's also the kind of place where you don't have to do much to make the day feel special. A good meal, a beautiful setting, and a few hours spent somewhere that feels different from the usual. Sometimes that's already a celebration in itself. And with a few more moments from this month still waiting to be shared, this one definitely deserves a spot.
Japanese fried chicken, beef stroganoff, then charbroiled burger. Okay,
Yeah.
and the paella. Okay.
And now everything we ordered is finally on the table. There's a little bit of everything, and honestly, it already looks like quite the spread. But the highlight has to be the paella. It's one of those dishes that naturally becomes the center of the table. Beautiful to look at, generous enough to share, and the kind of dish that makes everyone want to dig in before anything else. So before the plates start disappearing, here's a little look at everything we had. And oops, by the way, it's my birthday. So I guess it's officially part of the celebration.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
a beautiful setting, a really good meal, and a few moments worth remembering. That's a pretty good way to spend a birthday.